Loyalty plays a very important role in one's political life, and lack of it brings several consequences. And Nairobi Senator Johnstone Sakaja is one who is drinking from his cup of political loyalty. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our analysis. Now, Mr. Johnstone Sakaja is one politician who I believe is both smart and very sharp. He was part of the team that took part in drafting the new constitution. It is also very crucial to remember that he played a very crucial role when they were drafting the one man, one Kenya, one shillings arithmetic rule that became the epicenter of discussion in the BBI. But he is now facing some predicaments. The Sakaja certificate saga is one that is both legal and political. It is legal in the sense that there are several parameters, ladies and gentlemen, that has been set aside by the IBC that one must meet before you are cleared to take part in a political contest, and in this case, the gubernatorial contest for Johnstone Sakaja. It is also legal because if Sakaja is found guilty of forgery of his certificate from the Team University in Uganda, then he faces a jail term. But I want to spare you the legal part of his suffering, and I want to look at the political part of it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is political because even Sakaja himself, together with other Kenya Kwanza leaders like Murkomen and people like Oscar Sudi, in their tweets yesterday, alluded to some allegation that they are reading the president's hand in all this. Sakaja actually said that Mr. President made a call to Uganda, and it is as a result of this call that his certificate was revoked. I want to try and understand whether it is true or not that the president is interfering with this. But why is Sakaja politically suffering? Before I do this, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take a moment and request you to subscribe to our channel if you have not. Click the notification bell. To the subscribers, I want to say thank you for your support. Sakaja is one person who must have read the politics of Nairobi. When Sonko, the former governor of Nairobi, changed his allegiance to William Ruto, you saw what happened to him. He was finally impeached from the office. And so by that time, Sakaja was still a staunch supporter of the president. Just a few months later, he changed his allegiance to Mr. William Ruto. At a time when the president shook hands with Raila Amolo Odinga and they were trying to plan for their political future, William Ruto had other plans. William had actually indicated that Raila Amolo Odinga is an old man who should go home. And so he decided to look for youthful leaders. And so Sakaja joined the William Ruto camp as a youthful leader. So Sakaja ditched Uhuru Kenyatta at a time when Uhuru needed him the most. And I want to believe that Uhuru was not happy. As if that was not enough, when Uhuru was trying to make sure that the former NASA coalition remains intact, Ruto wanted to rock this NASA from within. And one of the people who are used to rock this boat was Johnstone Sakaja. Together with Cleopas Malala, Sakaja convinced Musalia Mudavadi to ditch the NASA coalition and join William Samoei Ruto. This again did not go well with Uhuru Kenyatta, who wanted the NASA to remain together, to remain intact, and join hands with Raila Amolo Odinga to form the next president. And so Sakaja was like a man who was throwing stones while living in a glass house. And now, politically speaking, he is suffering from lack of loyalty to the president. It is all in the public domain that the president picked Sakaja from nowhere and made him who he is. And Sakaja thought that that is the way to reciprocate. And now Uhuru Kenyatta is retaliating and is doing it in a very painful manner, a very painful way to Sakaja. Number two, the reason why Sakaja is politically suffering is the high political stake of the Nairobi seat. You see, after the Mount Kenya Foundation lost out in their bid to have one of their own as a deputy president in Azimio government, they requested to have one of their own in the Nairobi gubernatorial race. They cannot afford to let this go. Mount Kenya Foundation actually had proposed that Peter Kenneth becomes the running mate to Raila Amolo Odinga. But after a lot of scrutiny and consideration, they decided to pick Martha Karua. And so the Mount Kenya Foundation, having a very high interest in Nairobi because they own several businesses in Nairobi, they wanted someone they can trust. And Polycarp Igathe, a man who became, or shortly to speak, became the deputy governor to Sonko, fitted this role. So if you look at it politically, Sakaja is suffering because he wants to become the Nairobi governor. Yet he is in the other camp that the stakeholders feel do not have their interest at heart. They are not going to allow Sakaja to ascend to that position. Because when Sonko was in that office, they had several altercations between him and the Nairobi businessmen. So this time round, they do not want to repeat such a mistake again. They want one of their own to occupy that office for the smooth running of their businesses. Sakaja is also suffering because he is a victim of the system which wants to punish William Ruto. William Ruto has indicated on several occasions that he's not afraid of the system. He has sometimes even counted a number of occasions that he defeated the system in the by-elections. He has mentioned places like even Uhuru's backyard in Kiambaa. And the system is not taking it easy with him. So what they want is they want to cut William Ruto's foot and branches. And one of the most charismatic and young youthful politicians that are around William Ruto is Johnstone Sakaja. Johnstone Sakaja was going to give William Ruto a number of Luhya votes. And William Ruto was counting on him to deliver Luhya votes in Nairobi. The system knows this very well. And one of the things that they're doing is that they want to take Sakaja away so that Sakaja will not be part will not be in the ballot. So William Ruto must look for another person who will not perhaps uh, have or match the characteristics of Sakaja: youthful, young, charismatic, sober. It means that if they're given a chance to, replace Sakaja, the result is not going to be the same. The last point here, guys, is that they want to disorganize the One Kenya Alliance coalition. They also want to disorganize Sakaja, because what is happening right now is that Sakaja is constantly in court trying to defend himself, trying to prove to the people that he did not forge the certificate. Because even the loyalists of Sakaja will start looking at him with a doubting and doubtful heart. They had thought that Sakaja is a man who is learned. And now, when the officers that are supposed to look into his certificates are casting aspersion into his character, he will lose some of his supporters. Number two, Sakaja under the One Kenya Alliance party will not concentrate on their campaigns. They will be looking at who to blame, looking at how they are going to prove themselves impeccable. And when they do this, they lose a chance to campaign to their people. Remember, time is of essence. We have very few days into the August polls. And what is happening is that they are being forced to get into other things that are not going to help them. They're not going to get time to concentrate on their campaigns, because they're now to concentrate more on trying to defend Sakaja, to prove that someone is rocking their boat. And if this happens, it gives the Azimio time to campaign, because as they defend Sakaja, the Azimio One Kenya Alliance will be busy explaining their policies to the people. And this is a time-wasting strategy that the system has developed to interfere with One Kenya Alliance. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, but that is my take on the Sakaja saga.